Nope, there is no other show where the characters talk that much, and it feels absolutely natural, fun, and just the way it should be. If you also miss the Gilmore jokes, Kirk's never-ending hobbies, and the skeptical diner owner, stay with us and you will hear all about the post-Stars Hollow life of the Gilmore Girls cast. Who has become a New York Times best-selling author? Which of the stars is opening a cafe in real life? Who has become the owner of a fashion clothing line? Let's find out right now. Lauren Graham, aka Lorelei Gilmore. After her role as TV's coolest and the most coffee-obsessed mom ever, Lauren Graham went on to play yet another one of TV's best moms on NBC's Parenthood. Although the actress admits she's actually more like Lorelei Gilmore than Sarah Braverman, and we can see why. She explains, "I speak quickly, more in attitude, and just in athleticism of what that work is and was for me. As an actor, that's a place I feel really comfortable and exhilarated. So in that way, I guess I relate a little more to that world and that language." Nevertheless, Sarah Braverman was also the queen of her own world and had a great single mom thing going for her. This role also meant a lot for Graham, as it led her to fall in love with her co-star, Peter Krause. And happily in love for more than 8 years. Graham also appeared in numerous films, but mostly returned to her guest starring roots when she portrayed roles on 2 episodes of NBC's Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, and when she appeared in the 2nd season of Bravo's Celebrity Poker Showdown. Along with that, Lauren has developed her writing skills, and as fans can remember, in 2013 she released her debut novel, Someday, Maybe. It was a comedic fiction novel about Lauren trying to become an actress in 1990s New York. The book entered the New York Times bestseller list, and Graham even wrote the screenplay for a pilot episode, but unfortunately, it was not picked up for filming. That's great, but what we are really interested in is, will there be more Gilmore Girls on screens? The question popped up right after A Year in the Life was premiered. Sadly for fans, Lauren thinks we've said goodbye to the Gilmore Girls for real this time. "I feel very satisfied. This always felt like a special, a limited series," she said of the 4-episode Netflix revival. "I do think that's where it ends." Still, she admitted that getting the chance to return to Stars Hollow was probably the best feeling I'll ever have as an actor. This year, Graham released her newest book, In Conclusion, Don't Worry About It, and again became a New York Times best-selling author. Check out this one if you haven't done it yet. Alexis Bledel, aka Rory Gilmore. Shy and sweet Rory Gilmore, we hardly recognize you after your role as Beth, the bored housewife who becomes Pete's mistress on Mad Men. Aside from Mad Men, Bledel is now also known for her role in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants movies. A lot has changed for the actress since the days of Stars Hollow. After failed romances with her co-stars Milo Ventimiglia, whom she was with for about 3 years, and another, nor less famous one, with Jared Padalecki, Alexis's off-screen romance with Jared, who played Rory's first boyfriend, Dean, on Gilmore Girls, is less documented, only coming to light after casting director Mara Casey blew the former couple's cover in an interview with Life and Style recently. "We did have a joke about casting all of Alexis's real boyfriends," Casey said. She dated Jared and Milo, and she also dated a young New York actor named Chris Husler, who played a guest role. She continued her tradition of dating co-stars, and hence met her future husband, Vincent Kartheiser, on the set of Mad Men. The pair got together after filming wrapped up on Mad Men's 5th season, and were engaged a year later in 2014. The two welcomed their first baby a year later. It's funny how her Gilmore Girls co-star, Scott Patterson, accidentally revealed the news. Scott inadvertently dropped the baby bombshell in an interview with Glamour. "She's really blossomed as a woman, and now she's a proud new mother and married and happy," he told the magazine. Can you believe that this cutie is now 37 and has her own child? Seems impossible to process. Now that she's a mom, Alexis Bledel is a lot pickier when it comes to the roles she chooses. "More than anything, I just think about what roles I take on and make sure that it's really something that I feel passionate about if I'm going to leave home and go work," Bledel said, adding, "I just want to love what I'm doing." The actress is currently playing Offglen on The Handmaid's Tale and says that it's wonderful to play a layered character so different from the independent Rory Gilmore on Gilmore Girls. Speaking of whom, spoiler alert, Alexis Bledel had a hard time accepting that her character Rory ended things on a very pregnant note. After all her hard work, I wanted to see her succeed and be thriving, so it was a hard thing for me to digest. It was even harder for the fans. Who was not in shock after that last line? Anyways, at least we can be happy with the life of the actress who played Rory. Scott Patterson, aka Luke Danes. What can we say about Luke, other than that he was TV's most lovable grump ever? Fortunately, the series finale strongly hinted that the duo would work it out. Phew! Since shutting down Luke's Diner, Patterson has gone on to enjoy roles in some smaller films, and starred in 2008's Aliens in America and NBC's short-lived series The Event in 2011. Many fans have longed to have the love-struck Luke Danes make them their coffee every morning, and now that reality is closer than ever. The Gilmore Girls actor now has his own brand of coffee. He's probably not going to dress up like Luke to serve it to you, but still, isn't that amazing? His brand is called Scotty P's Big Mug Coffee. The actor shared his story of how he came up with this idea. I have been planning a coffee business for a long time. When I was growing up, my mother and I sat and drank cup after cup and talked about life. These are very warm memories. When my mom passed in 2008, I started thinking seriously about starting a coffee business. As fans may already know, Patterson is also a musician, and in early 2017, Scott announced on his music site, Smith Radio, that he would be heading out on an acoustic coffeehouse tour, spanning from California to NYC and stopping in between. For the die-hard fans, he has a contest going on to have a meet and greet and a coffee break with Patterson, which is kind of a genius move on his part. Melissa McCarthy, aka Sookie St. James. McCarthy won our hearts as Lorelei's lovable chef and best friend Sookie. But McCarthy did not break out as a film star until 2011, when she stole the show as the oddball future in-law in Bridesmaids.
Oh, this is some classy...
Within just 5 years, she was the third highest paid woman in Hollywood, according to Forbes. I've gotten lucky, she says, and I've worked hard. McCarthy went on to be nominated for a Golden Globe for her star-making role in Bridesmaids, and is now a bona fide movie star, thanks to recent hits like The Heat and Identity Theft. At 48, McCarthy is happy that her success came at a conscious age. I think I would have been probably cuckoo if I'd been successful at 18. I think the best thing I could have done was struggle until I was 30. And now, she and her husband, an American actor, comedian, and filmmaker, Ben Falcone, are owners of their own production company, which allows them to make the movies they're most passionate about. McCarthy is also a designer. Her McCarthy 7 line, born from frustration with not being able to find clothes she liked that fit her body. That entrepreneurial spirit is something she and Falcone are trying to instill in their daughters. The girls, Vivian, 10, and Georgette, 8, are currently obsessed with making slime. My oldest daughter wants to start selling it. I was like, great, start a business, McCarthy says. It just can't be gimme, gimme, gimme. I talk a lot about we work hard for things. Oh, we just can't wait to see how these future business ladies will grow up. Sean Gunn, aka Kirk Gleason. After stealing a scene or two in every episode as Kirk, thanks to his eccentricities and ever-changing careers, Gunn recently stole a few scenes in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and even doing the motion capture work for Rocket. In addition to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Sean Gunn's character of Kraglin is also scheduled to appear in the 2018 release, Avengers: Infinity War. Sean Gunn's resume also includes roles on TV shows like Bones, Glee, Angel, and Third Rock from the Sun, as well as movies like Super and Pearl Harbor. But his most iconic role till now still remains the one he played on Gilmore Girls. Well, I essentially created the role myself. When I was cast on the show originally, it was just for a one-day co-star role as the DSL installer, he says. Amy Sherman Palladino liked what he did enough and kept asking him back, and eventually it turned into a regular job. The actor does not think that Kirk and himself are terribly similar, even though the character does come out of his psyche somehow. Sean is a huge fan of Comic-Con, and he has done over 20 comic conventions. I've now done over 20 Comic-Cons, and it is always a joyful experience for me to meet fans. So next time you'll be visiting a Comic-Con, don't miss your chance to meet the creator of Uber. Liza Weil, aka Paris Geller. Who knew when we first met her that we would all eventually love Paris? Unbeknownst to Weil, she would go on to portray even more intense characters throughout her career. A few years after Gilmore Girls came to an end in 2007, Weil randomly got a call from Shonda Rhimes. The two of them had a casual meeting. Time passed, and eventually she was invited to audition for a guest spot on Grey's Anatomy. The following year, Weil landed a spot on Private Practice, her first job since she had her daughter. From there, Weil got called in for Scandal and sealed the deal for the role of Amanda Tanner. When the script for How to Get Away with Murder came her way, Weil was confident that she was ready for the part. Liza and actor Paul Adelstein have been together for over 10 years, raising a daughter. Their split came at a time when the actors were experiencing huge success in their professional lives. Liza requested for custody of their daughter and is trying to be a part of her daily life as much as she can, though working on the show makes it difficult. When Weil takes a minute to reflect on her 20-something-year-long career, she remembers how much she looked up to Lauren Graham at the beginning. She had a deep appreciation for the comfortableness and confidence that Graham emitted on Gilmore Girls, a point that Weil never thought that she would ever reach herself. Weil points to Rhimes and the Palladinos for contributing to her transformation into a better, fully formed person. It's very bizarre to me to now really be a grown-up. I kind of can't believe that I'm there, because I certainly don't feel that way a lot of the time, she says. We also can't believe how our favorite characters turned out to be such grown-ups today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss a single story about your favorite celebrities.